Hey, good morning, everybody. Dirk Beveridge here, founder of Unleashed WD, with another Thursday unapologetically live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Thanks so much for joining us. We have a really, I believe, a real interesting conversation today as we introduce the next volume of our 8-volume ebook series that's providing over 200 leadership lessons from Standout Distributors. We're going to talk about the lessons we learned from Hill and Marks and how you can bring those into your business by downloading this book. So you guys, thanks so much for being here. Travis, good morning. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for coming. You guys, everybody come on in. Travis is here. He's saying hello. Everybody else, come on in, say hello. Let me know that you're here, where you're from, how you're doing today. And then we're going to get going in exactly 2 minutes. Okay, everybody? Good to see y'all. Let's go. 2 minutes. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Thanks so much for being here. Really excited for today. Let me just say hello to those of you that are coming in. Really appreciate you being here. Travis, my friend, great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us. Michael, great to see you from Shrewsbury, man. Hope you are doing well. Rob, my friend, how are you doing? Man, I loved what you all did with your LinkedIn posts about how you were attacked with ransomware. What a great service you all did. Fantastic. Angie, great to see you. I owe you. I know. I just got in late last night. I'll talk about that, but I'm getting to you when we're done after. Mr. Pratt, good to see you, my friend. Looking forward to planning our July event. Yep. Mr. Kenzel, great to see you, man. I wish we would have had more time when we were together in Scottsdale, but as always, it was great to see you. Let's see here. The guys are talking about dances. Happy Thursday morning. Gary, really good to see you, my friend. And it looks like you're all having some fun with the Dirk dance, huh? Travis, please do not have others try this at home. Ray, all you need is a Diet Coke and maybe you'll start dancing as well. Don't. Well, you can, but I should probably stop, right? Hey guys, let's jump into it. Unapologetic Live. We started these Thursday live sessions at the beginning of the year. We titled it Unapologetic because after our We Supply America tour, we really believed that we needed to raise the narrative relative to the impact of distribution throughout this country, relative to the goodness, relative to the noble calling, and to really own, right, this being the backbone of this country and how we create over 6 million jobs, third largest economic engine on the planet, how we contribute to our local communities and the like. And I really believe it's time for us to raise the narrative relative to distribution and to do it unapologetically. And that's really the underlying theme of these Thursday lives. Now, what we're doing today is this is the third live where we are introducing a new ebook in our 8-volume series that's titled Leadership Lessons from Standout Distributors. Throughout the 8 books, there's over 200 leadership lessons. You can go and download, register once, and you can download them all as they come out at wesupplyamerica.net/ebook hyphen series, and you can get them all. But let me answer this question. I do this each time, and I'm going to answer it a little bit differently today. Why did we create this important 8-volume ebook series for you that's providing over 200 leadership lessons? Well, as I thought about that question last night and this morning, I go back to what I've been up to the last 9 days. I got in late last night. I left town over a week ago, 9-10 days ago, and just had an amazing tour of the West and the Southwest. I was in La Jolla, California, and in Scottsdale with 3 different organizations. And so last week, this was a picture of the room that I had the opportunity to present to 3 different associations that are in the road construction paving industry. And there were probably 150, 200 individuals in that room, all leaders from businesses that distribute product and provide services to road contractors. Just a great, great organization. The very next day, after I was done with the presentation in La Jolla, I drove the 5 or 6 hours over to Scottsdale, Arizona, where I was with my good friends at the American Supply Association, where we had about 95 volunteers from that organization. And we led the 95 individuals through a strategic planning conversation, really defining the future of the industry, the association, and those businesses. And then 2 days ago, I spoke to about 150 individuals at the OPISA conference, the Outdoor Power Equipment and Engine Services Association, where there are about 150 leaders of these primarily independent distributors that are selling us mowers and the like. Now, why do I tell you that? Because it relates to why we're introducing these 3 books. The common theme through all 3 of those meetings that I was at over the last 9 days, the common theme was leadership. And that's what these books are about. In all 3 of those meetings, the underlying message is that how we lead our organizations in a post-pandemic world is in fact changing. And we must be different leaders coming out of the pandemic than we were going in because of these forces of change. Of course, the pandemic, but because of the labor issues, because of the supply chain issues, because of technology, because of the need to redefine how we work. Geopolitical, my God, what Putin's doing over on the other side of the world. There's all these forces that are changing. Demographics, I heard a demographer speak, talking about how demographics are absolutely changing how businesses must attract, retain, keep, develop individuals, and more. And so my point is this. The common theme throughout those last 3 days is leadership. And I truly believe that we must be different leaders. Do you agree? Let me know if you agree with this premise. We must be different leaders coming out of this pandemic than we were going in because of the change and transformation that is swirling all around us. So that's why we did it. And man, when I was out on the We Supply America tour, we just got all of this great practical insight that we wanted to share with you. And we pulled it, we extracted it from the visits that we had and the conversations and the tour. Now, I see some of you are newer to this, so let me just introduce to you where this information came from. It came from our We Supply America tour. If you're not familiar with it, last summer, I took this RV that you see on the screen, on a Sea to Shining Sea tour, where I went through 35 states, 97 days, 16,599 miles, and 34 different businesses to champion the noble calling of distribution. And here are the different businesses that we had a chance to walk into. And I have to tell you, every single one of those businesses, the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that I met, from the C-suite to the pickers, to the warehouse associates, to the drivers, to the marketers, to the administrators, to the finance people. I mean, they even brought me in to talk to finance people. But everybody I talked to, man, they had insights that we pulled together, and it was absolutely fantastic. So for those of you that are newer to these Unapologetic Lives and newer to the We Supply America Tour, where this information came from, let me just run this minute trailer for you. In a world of social distancing, remote working, personal challenges, and business disruption, there are businesses with their committed, caring, and passionate professionals who kept America supplied. Distribution. It's much more than meets the eye. The pandemic shined a light on the imperative nature of supply. That light, the noble calling of distribution.
This is about patriotism. This is about the backbone of the American economy.
Yeah.
To be a part of helping you tell that story and to share some passion and enthusiasm for that, dude, that was cool.
The role that we play, especially during COVID, as essential workers, is making sure that we are getting the material that those contractors need to continue that growth.
These are the inspirational stories and lessons from across America. This is We Supply America.
I'll tell you what, I've never worked for a company that treats their employees as well as the Porter Boys do.
Yeah.
I mean, they treat me better than any boss I've ever had, including myself when I had my own business for 20 years now.
We're honored to have you, Harold. We really are. We're blessed.
Well, I love it here. That's all I can say.
We love you.
It's all that backbone that you don't see. Yeah. That's what we do.
I tell you what, you guys, every time I see that, and I see it a lot, it just reminds me of what you all do and the nobleness of what you all do. And we owe it to ourselves to continue to bring this message to our employees, to our local communities, to our politicians, to ourselves, to our families, to our customers, to our suppliers, and the like. I mean, you know, the commercial side of it is, you know, the definition of sustainability, relevance, profitability is changing more rapidly than ever before. And this noble calling is going to truly help drive all of those going forward. So it's that tour that a lot of the information that we're sharing right now, as I'm out keynote speaking like I've been the last 9 days, I leave again tomorrow for a keynote down in Orlando on Saturday. A lot of it has come from that We Supply America tour. So let me put some structure around what I'm saying here and then get into this third volume. But before I do, some other people are saying hello. Let me just say hi real quick. Gary, great to see you, man. Thank you for joining us. Tammy, as always, great to see you. Brooke, great to see you. Thank you. And Ray, yeah, I love what you're saying. Your green leaders must adapt. Agreed. And Travis, yeah, leading with much more tenacity. Oh my goodness, right? Then we entered into it without question. Okay, so guys, let me put some context around what we're talking about here and the lessons we've learned. As I was traveling the country, those 97 days, 35 states, 34 distributors, you know, I got all of this information, notes all over the place, video all over the place, audio all over the place, notes, scribbling in my journal all over the place. And as I sat back, the picture that came into view, when I talk about the very nature of leadership changing more rapidly than ever before, what I identified are these 7 ethos that define what I call the noble calling of leadership. That's really outlining, in my mind, this transformation of leadership from before the pandemic to this other side of the pandemic. And there are 7 ethos that you see: purpose, people, family, ownership mindset, customer centricity, expertise, and profit. And we define each of those in the books that you can download and in other resources. So those 7 ethos are very important. And With this third book that you can download today, these leadership insights and best practices from Hill and Marks, you're going to be able to take insights from this standout distributor and bring them into your business to drive conversation and thinking about your leadership, your organization, your team, and the like. So let me tell you real quick a little bit about Hill and Marks. They were one of the 8 featured distributors that we created, these broadcast quality films that you can watch on demand at wesupplyamerica.net. But Hill and Marks, I didn't know them prior to this. I was introduced to them through the ISSA, through Infor, and through Proton, and they are just an amazing family-owned organization up in Amsterdam, New York, in the janitorial and sanitation distribution business. Rich history that goes all the way back to 1906. Third generation of leadership is leading this family-owned business. One of the things that you'll see in this book, the ideas that you pull out, is how they are deeply, did I say deeply rooted in their community. The localness of their business is absolutely core to what they do. It's core to who they are as a business. It's core to the humanity of their business. And they are deeply concerned about those, the entire community. But they know that their kids go to the schools that they serve. They know that their family goes to the hospitals they serve. They know that their friends meet at the restaurants that they serve. They know that that local community that they serve is who they are. And it absolutely drives the leadership in that organization in, to me, an inspiring, very, very meaningful way. And that goes to the last bullet there. I truly believe when I talk about championing the noble calling of distribution, Hill and Marks is one of those organizations that we can learn from, just like we can learn from every one of your organizations as well, which we're going to be announcing the We Supply America Season 2 tour very, very soon. Website's going to come up in the next 30 days, I believe, 30 days. And you're going to have the opportunity to say, Dirk, come out, stop with us, and let's have a conversation. So that's coming in a little bit. But back to Hill and Marks. Hill and Marks, while the business really focuses on all 7 of these ethos of the noble calling of distribution, today what I'd like to do is just highlight very quickly so that you can get a feel of what you'll get when you download that ebook. 3 things. 3 of the ethos: profit, purpose, and customer centricity. Okay, so let me give you a quick insight into those 3 things of what you'll see there. The first I'd like to focus in on is the 7th ethos, and that's profit. And you guys, I define the profit ethos as promoting the inherent goodness of business and how its profits contribute to individual freedom. Hold on one second. Would you do me a favor and just pause and take that statement in? You know, at a high level, what really came just screaming out at me during the tour is that we in the business world, we have to reclaim the narrative of profit. That profit is not evil. Profit is, in fact, noble. And it's noble for a lot of reasons. And one of the things that I learned from Jason Packard, you're going to see it in just a bit, the CEO of Hill and Marks, as he and I at 7:30 in the morning stood on the bridge over the Mohawk River. Beautiful setting. I just met, it was almost like a movie where, you know, 2 spies come across the bridge and meet for the first time. Well, that's what we did at 7:30 in the morning. Had never met Jason, never talked to him. It was set up, and we just had a great conversation over the Mohawk River there in Amsterdam, New York on that bridge. And we started talking about his business, and we started talking about his purpose and his why. And he impacted me and really drove this thinking that profit equals freedom, and it equals freedom for all the employees. And this comes out in the ebook, but he impacted me so much. Let me share with you this minute and a half clip of the conversation I had with Jason Packard, the CEO of Hill and Marks. Your greatest hope for every one of your employees, how would you define that?
Freedom.
What do you mean?
Freedom to do what they love to do. This is a vehicle to allow them to have, the one thing I think I hope that a lot of people have learned during COVID is life's short.
Yeah.
You only have so much time on this planet. What are you going to do? Your passion, what are you going to do with your life outside of the business to really fulfill yourself? And we want to be able to provide that for people, those opportunities, not just outside the business, but within the business. How can you grow yourself within the business?
So isn't that amazing? I mean, so that's the type of information that you can pull out of this book. But let's just pause there for a second. I mean, I got to tell you something. I've been in this business of training, consulting, speaking, all that for about 35 years. And I believe that was the first time in 35 years that I heard a CEO tell me that the purpose is freedom. Freedom for every one of his employees. As you get into that book, as you get into We Supply America, you hear Jason's passion about driving the success of that business so he can raise the income levels of every one of his employees so that they have the freedom, so that they have the ability to strive for achieving their God-given potential. Gentlemen, I don't know about you. I believe that's very, very noble. I believe with everything I see, that is defining leadership in a post-pandemic world. And I think what we've got in this ebook and through the We Supply America series is we've got these insights, this information, these examples that you can take, internalize, and use it as a spark to unleash the possibilities within your leadership, within your team, and within your own organization. So Jason Packard, thank you so very, very much. So here is, when you download the book, the actual book that you'll download, you'll see the introduction from me. I set the stage about what you'll learn from Hill and Marks in the ebooks. We give you that poster so that you can always reference where leadership is going. And then we provide to you these lessons in the form of direct quotes that we heard while we were out with Hill and Marks. And what I want to do is I want to draw your attention to how we've laid this book out so that you can use it to really drive thinking and new leadership in your organization. So let's even just take, we take this quote, and over here we give you the icons that which of the 7 ethos does this quote most so that you can tie this quote to the 7 ethos in your leadership. We then give you a title in terms of what this is speaking about overall. We give you the quote, where it came from, and then we also, what we give to you is the timestamp so that you can actually go to the on-demand film and see if you want to see the context before and after that quote. And then importantly, we give you this space for self-reflection. I don't know about you, but every time I go through these books, my mind is absolutely on fire with taking that idea. It might be a small idea, it might be a little germ or seed idea, or it might be a bigger idea. But I capture those, but I capture those in that book. And that's why it's designed the way it is. Okay, you guys? So Hill and Marks, the first of the ethos that you'll see in there is profit. It really is absolutely impactful. The second one is purpose. We define purpose in this 7 ethos of leadership, as you see it on the screen, is that we're called by a compelling North Star, right? To make an impact, to create meaning, and to truly unleash possibilities. Yes, for the business, yes, for our suppliers, but for our people and our employees as well, right? So yesterday I flew back from Phoenix, Arizona, and as I'm going to the gate, I had to go get my Diet Coke. I had to go get my Diet Coke for the flight, and I went into the store, and right down underneath the register were all the magazines. And this picture that I took yesterday, there's the floor and then the magazine rack underneath the register. And what you see there is the latest Harvard Business Review magazine. I wanted to remind myself that I got home and it was on my table. It's been delivered to me, but I wanted to remind myself of it. But here's what it said. Look at the cover of this month's Harvard Business Review, and it talks about managing a polarized workforce. And it's all about culture in an organization. And if you look up top, you'll see that there's a significant portion of this issue focused on purpose. Our first ethos in the noble calling of leadership. And they talk about what is purpose? What is the purpose of your purpose and how to make purpose real? And that's set aside. I'm going to be reading that article or that issue on the plane flying down to Orlando tomorrow. But I got to tell you something. I got an MBA on what the HBR is talking about this month. Last summer, I got an MBA visiting 34 different independent family-owned distributors. And one of those distributors, as you know, Hill and Marks. Look at this one thought from the sales operations manager, Shannon Conwell, when I sat down with her. She said, Dirk, we made sure that we were servicing our customers, but also we've donated a lot of product to the community. The generosity was unbelievable. So think about that. Hill and Marks, deeply, deeply committed to their local communities. It's in their DNA. And it's not just at the leadership level, it's throughout that entire organization. And what I want to see, to me, where my mind goes, where the spark from this leadership lesson is, yeah. Okay, local. Yeah, donate. But then look at the very last statement that Shannon said to me. The generosity was unbelievable. Think about that from a human level. Think about that from a leadership level. Think about that from driving alignment in an organization. Think about that from driving towards your mission in an organization. When the employee sees an organization being so generous that it's unbelievable, I don't know about you, but I think we can learn from that. And I think we can absolutely take that thinking into our organization to use that type of purpose to drive alignment, to drive meaning, to drive results, productivity, teamwork, collaboration, everything that we need in this post-pandemic world. All right. So that's one example relative to purpose. Let's go to number 3 real quick. Again, the 5th ethos is customer centricity. We define that as being obsessed, and being deeply connected to the customer and focused on helping them prosper. You know, when I got to Hill and Marks, like others, and they're not the only ones, right? But when I got there, man, I saw that customer centricity being absolutely central to who they are. And again, not just words on a mission statement, it's who they are throughout the entire organization. Every individual I met was absolutely obsessed with understanding and doing what they needed to do to help the customers of Hill and Marks prosper. So I sat down with Angie Richards, the sales executive there. And what she said to me is, we were in a training room. She said, Dirk, we use this training room for our customers. It's less about selling to them and more about helping. As a sales rep, that's the number one thing that I love to do, to help customers. You know, think about that. You know, for years, as I've led sales training sessions for organizations, one of the questions I typically ask, I forgot about it until now, one of the questions I typically ask is, you know, if I ask most salespeople, what is your job priority, what are they going to say? Yeah, what will most salespeople say? Most people say, well, my job is to sell, to get the order. And while that's critically important, we believe that the number one job priority of salespeople is not to sell, it's to identify and then satisfy the customer's needs profitably. There's a difference there. Identify and satisfy the customer's needs and then do it profitably. That's the job of selling. And that's what I heard from Angie. It's absolutely built into the DNA of Hill and Marks. And again, we can pull from that the number one thing I love to do is not to get the order. But by the way, we got to get the order. Don't get me wrong. But the number one thing I love to do is help customers. And we know that when we help customers, we get the order. Man, there is an entire workshop for sales organizations. I believe that's where my mind goes around that individual comment. So again, these are the types of things that we provide to you that we want you to pull out of this book. When you download it, it's the 3rd of an 8-volume series, and it's there for you. And Tammy, I agree with you. When we talked about purpose and even customer centric, you say action speaks louder than words. And that's what we can pull out of this book, is how people take these words and actually put into work, into process. So Um, I want you to download these books, but more importantly, I want you to use them to drive thinking and, as Tammy says, action in your organization. So there's really, in my mind, 3 ways that you can use this book. Number 1, download it, have your pen, and just use it, self-reflect for you, right? Number 2, get your team around a table and assign different pages, assign different quotes, or ask them to pull out what was most meaningful for them and drive conversation around it. And I guarantee you, it's going to ignite individuals' thought process. It's going to ignite their desire to think deeper, to work through problems and issues and opportunities of how leadership is changing. I guarantee you. And then third, use these books to challenge the status quo. And yes, use them in conjunction with the film. All right. So let me show you that again. So these books are sisters, if you will, to the film that you can watch on demand for free at WeSupplyAmerica.net. When you go to WeSupplyAmerica.net, you can scroll down. You can use the menu up here. I'll use the menu and I'll scroll down here, Hill and Marks. Okay, so I'll go to the Hill and Marks page here. And right there, you can get a little bit of the background of the episode. Sorry, I'm doing 3 things at once. You can see the individuals who we talk to here. And then you can just hit play. And right there, you can go and start using this book with the time codes, using the book with the time codes with the film itself. All right. And dynamite tool. And then we got a couple other resources for you if you want to watch that full episode, 45 minutes or so conversation that I had when us 2 spies, Jason and I, came over that bridge in the Mohawk River. You can download that here. And then we also got a meeting kit for you for there also. So ton of resources. We truly believe leadership is changing, and we want to be part of that conversation to help you amazing individuals and amazing distributors throughout this country ensure that we're focusing on what is the leadership that's going to be required in a post-pandemic world. So again, you can download these books at WeSupplyAmerica.net/ebook-series. You can go ahead and do that. And when you go there, let me show you what you get. Let me jump over here to this website. When you go there, you'll come to this landing page. Go ahead and register once, and then you'll have access to all 8 as they come available. All right, and you'll scroll down and you'll see here are the 8 books that are coming. You'll see right now the Porter Pipe ebook is available. Once you register, you'll see you can download immediately the Granite Group. As of today, you can download Hill and Marks. 2 weeks from now, Hovis, and you'll see the other 4 come along. A lot of great information is continuing to come your way. Okay, everybody? So there you have it. Thanks so much. Let me know what you're thinking. If anything, if I sparked any thoughts or ideas, let me just see some of the things. I see some people saying some things. Let me put up. Travis, thank you for being here again and your contribution. Identity plus satisfy the customer's needs first helps diminish the negative view people have towards salesmen. Hallelujah, Travis. Sales is noble when you have a customer-centric view, right? When you understand your job is to identify and then satisfy customers' needs, right? So absolutely, I believe that. And then Gary, let me see if I can put that up. It's long, so not sure what you say. Okay, cool. So look what I did there. Dirk, well done. So let's see what Gary says. Gary says, during COVID, we never closed. We kept moving product. Hey, you know what? Absolutely. Noble. We kept moving product and demand for our products. Video streaming technology exploded. Yeah. We adapted to remote work, and our order entry, customer service, purchasing, and finance teams worked from home. As things got better, we brought people back into the office, and we've been hiring and growing our staff. Noble job creation, right? Now we have the challenge of our younger 25 to 35-year-old employees wanting to still work remote or hybrid. We have the technology to do it, but I'm very fearful of the negative impact it will have on the corporate culture we work so hard to build. Filling open position has been difficult, and turnover makes it even harder. What are other distributors doing about this challenge? So absolutely, what a fantastic question, Gary. It's all about culture, right? And this challenge now, I'm of the belief that this hybrid work environment isn't going to go away. And so as leaders, we absolutely need to step back and think about how we are going to maintain that culture going forward. We are going to continue to talk about that going forward. I've got a lot of thoughts around that as well. Some of you know we also have on that a 6-month webinar series going on talking about obliterate false narratives. Gary, I think you're registered for that. I really encourage you to do that because 3 of those 6 are talking about culture, talking about people, talking about how do we keep this alignment in this changing world. So Gary, thank you. We'll keep talking about that. All right. So thank you. Great information. Travis, thank you so much. Great broadcast today. Yeah, Travis says, great job, Gary. Thanks for pushing through. Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you. And thank you, Dirk, saving America one distributor at a time. I really appreciate that, you guys. So there you have it. Go and get the ebooks if you haven't. Let's stay in touch, man. I'm on fire. I'm back out on the road. Loving the interaction that I'm having. Again, I got back late last night after 9 days on the road. I leave tomorrow. Have a keynote with distributors of beverage dispensing equipment, then a breakout with them on Sunday. And then I'm going to go see my mom and dad for a few days. And then I'm up in Connecticut, Foxwoods next Thursday. Next Thursday is going to be a big day. I'll be up there with FW Web. They got 1,000 of their customers coming in. I'm going to keynote that session to kick off that meeting. And then Thursday afternoon, we have a great webinar at We Supply America, the Obliterate webinar series on technology. You know, digital transformation, it has to be there, but we have obstacles like money, like the complexity of it, like having the capabilities in-house. Those are just 3 of the challenges we see with the distributors I've met on the road in terms of driving towards what they know they need to do with technology. We're going to break that down next Thursday at 3 o'clock Central. So hope you register for that as well or join us there. Okay, so there you have it, everybody. Thank you so very much. You guys have a great day. I'm going to close down at 12 noon. I've got a virtual keynote that I've got to finish preparing for, and great conversation today. Thank you, everybody, for your comments throughout. Know that we take everything that you say to us seriously, and we look at it. We appreciate the dialogue, the goings back and forth, because Lord knows we're all in this together. The genius is not here. The genius is in the room, if you will, all of us. Let's keep this conversation going. Let me know what you think as you download those books. Jim, thank you so very much. You downloaded the books. I'm going to sit down this weekend and plow through them to learn from the best. Absolutely, Jim. Thank you. Let me know what you think. Okay, Jim? Thank you all. Tom, thank you very much. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for continuing to come back. Really appreciate it. Susan, good to see you as well. All right, everybody, let's go do it. Let's have a great Thursday. Travis wants to see the dance on the outro. You, sir, are sick if you wanted to see that. All right, so here we go. Take care, everybody. We'll see you. Have a great day. See ya.